Good morning, Dwayne here, PhoenixTypewriter.com. We're going to try to make as quick a video as possible on how to ship an IBM Selectric typewriter. The one that we're using for demonstration is actually a Selectric 1, but it will apply, same principles apply to the Selectric 1, 2, and 3. They all are going to need the same type of preparation. One of the key things that I do, I don't have the original packing. I don't have the bolts that go on the bottom here. The way these originally packed were with bolts that went through here with shock mounts with a board to the frame. So the machine was supported in the box by the frame and the case would float. So don't have that. Most people don't. And even if you did, the box has to be just right or it won't support it right. You got to get everything right. Everything's got to be the way it was when it was shipped from the factory, pretty much. The other method that some of the good people are using are the foam, the expanded foam version. They put it in a box and it's got foam that expands around it, and that's pretty nice. The only default is they still got to prep the inside of the machine so it doesn't move. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The machine, all the Selectrics are on what they call shock mounts. They're rubber pieces. The machine actually floats inside of this case. So the back ones are these guys here. They look like this. Or these are Selectric 2s. The Selectric ones look a little different. But the machine is sitting in these rubber mounts, and in the front, right down about here, are the front shock mounts. They look like this. And there you can see those from they're these pieces right here. They actually go through. That's it right there. And the frame connects to this right here on both sides. And there's movement. If you, excuse me, if you take this cord off, this is the way we're going to wrap this. Cord's going to get wrapped around these knobs. But if you look closely, well, I don't know how close we're going to be able to look. But if you grab these knobs on any Selectric, you can move the machine back and forth within the case. See this move? See the keyboard move here? See that move? And it moves right here at the knob. You can see this this movement. Inside the case. Okay, watch this. See that move back and forth? Up and down. It moves all directions. That's what we need to eliminate. See this lever up here? If it moves too much, that lever snaps off. If it moves too much, these keys snap off down here. See those move? That's what we want to eliminate as much as possible, because otherwise it's going to break in shipment. Something's going to break. There's still a chance something's going to break. There's 2,800 parts in these machines. They could easily get jarred. So one of the key factors is underneath the carrier or underneath the lid. The first thing, you're going to have to make sure your lid is clean like this. You don't want the old foam, because we're going to be putting stuff that's going to be sitting against this. So if there's old foam up here, you better get rid of it. Better clean that out, or it's just going to make a mess. I also wrapped paper around the erasure table. Not that big a deal. The big deal is getting something in here. So I've already pre-prepared a few things to show how to secure inside of here. Got a bubble wrap, and I wrapped it in plastic wrap, and this piece is going to fit right inside of here. Maybe it's a little tight, but let's see if we can get it in there a little tighter. Okay, we want it tight enough so then the lid just applies some pressure. Just some pressure. See, the lid's up a little. Push it down, it's applying some pressure. Same thing on this side. I've actually got this little piece ready, but I'll show you what I've been using, which is just great. This wrap, man, a couple of years I've been using this, and just fantastic. So you wrap this thing up into a little ball of, nice solid ball, and then we can just stick this in here too. And it's not really going to move, side to side the carrier. We're going to deal with that separate. Again, just something to hold the frame snug. Yeah, that's up a little bit. Just something there. The last thing, on the Selectric 2s, it has a nice cartridge here. This one's got a little wire here. We don't want to try to, get anything hung up on that. So I made a little piece, this little piece of foam, fits right there. And when the lid shuts down on that too, it's going to apply just a little bit of pressure right onto the carrier. Just a little bit, and that little wire is still safe over here. The Selectric 2s are a little easier. The cartridge is nothing obstructive in here, so you can put maybe bubble wrap all the way across here. A ball on the side and then across. Same thing, you just want the lid to be able to push down on some of that. That's going to, keep some of the movement. It's going to spread some of the movement out. So let's do this. Get it ready for shipment right here. Let's just go ahead and close this lid down. I want this ball to be a little bigger. I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to add a little more to this ball. I just want this to be a little bigger, I think. Let me wrap a little more, just, okay, let's try this piece. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, good enough. There's pressure. Not too much, but it does close up flat. Okay. Next thing, this is what I've been doing to a lot of these, and it's a pretty good trick, is go ahead and use the cord to secure this the rest of the way. Take this cord, and this works on the Selectric 2s. The one has got this shaped knob here. The 2s are more flat, and you can actually see the shaft a little more. Kind of like this side, you can see a little more of the shaft. But the same principle is going to apply. We're going to make sure this is nice and tight, this cord. Push the lid down and bring it right between these two. Just going to line right up under the knob. And we want to try to get this right through the gap here. And you can see that it's just tight as could be under here. Just kind of force it in there. If you don't do the cord trick, I'm sure that the other guys wedge something in here, like a piece of cardboard right in here to keep this knob stationary. Same thing with the other side. They would probably wedge a piece of cardboard in here. They would take a piece, pretty stiff cardboard or something, and wedge it in there, so it also holds the knob. But this cord trick is going to work. So get it tight under the knob, bring it across, keep that cord tight. It can handle a lot of pressure. Okay, when you get over here, again, wrap it under the knob, make sure it's nice and tight here. Bring it back across. Again, underneath this knob, make sure it's just as snug as can be. Bring it back across. Underneath. And now we just need to wrap it up right here. Let's go ahead and just wrap it like that. And we can just drop the excess down inside here. Okay, we just wrap that around like that. Nothing critical here. Okay, so that now is tight against this knob. And there's no movement now. If you try to move this, this keyboard does not move. I'm moving that knob as hard as I can, and when you flip this thing even on its side, it will not budge. It's not moving at all. You can move it to the front. You can move it upside down. There is no movement. These are not moving. When you flip this on its side, let's see, watch this. That it's not moving at all. Shaking it, there's nothing. There's no movement on this typewriter. That's what you want. You want no movement, so there's nothing. The lid isn't quite all the way down here. Let's go ahead and fix that with some wrap. If it needs to be a little more pressure, we want pressure, just wrap this with the wrap. Watch this. Just go like this, and around to the other side, and give it a couple wraps here. This stuff is really, really stretchy, and the more you stretch it, the tighter it gets. And it's kind of like those grocery bags, they just don't rip. You just pull this stuff tight. Well, it's up, maybe it's just a slight, but it's not going to hurt anything. Everything is secure here. Again, no movement at all. Nothing. Nice. That is what you want. You don't want any movement. This machine is ready to ship, but we're going to do a little more. Okay, let's see. I got a little list here. Internal prep, cord wrap. Let's do this piece on the keyboard here too. So we can get a piece of bubble wrap, and we're just going to push it against this keyboard, and again use the saran wrap type thing, and wrap it up here. So we can hang it off the bench like this. And we're just going to wrap this keyboard. Again, pretty tight around this bottom of the case and back around. Again, very tight, as tight as you can get it. As much as you think it needs. Probably about 4 wraps. Alright, that's pretty good right there. So this machine is now very stable. Like I said, you can flip this around and it's not moving inside the case at all right now. So that's an important step right here. Get this thing all tight. Okay, next step, I'm going to move the camera. Bear with me. Let me get a camera mount here, and we're going to switch to this cart. And we're going to do some do the rest of the job here. Okay, let me get this thing positioned correctly. Close enough, I think. Let's take a look. Okay. Next thing is bubble wrap. So I've got some ready here. This is a pretty standard part of the process. Let's stick the machine on here. Wrap it up. Back a little bit right there. And just okay. Let's go ahead and tape that up. Tape this over here. I would recommend using good tape. You don't want to skimp out on your packing tape, or you just could be a mistake. Alright, let's secure the bubble wrap tight. That's another key factor. Get the bubble wrap as tight as you can. Do the ends, we'll just wrap this around a little bit. Like that. Fold these in. Don't have to worry too much about the knob because we got a plenty big enough box. It's got a little bit of a bulge right there. That's what we kind of want. Okay, get that nice and tight. The other side wasn't actually quite centered in here, right? This side is got a little extra, but it's close enough right now. Go. One more right there, I think. Okay. That's one layer of bubble, and never seems like enough. Let's do another one. We're actually going to do like a cross. Cut some of this off here. So now we're going to stick it in longwise, I think. Go that way. And make sure this stuff is as tight as we can get it. That is the critical factor here. Tight. Almost done here. Almost done with this part. What we have done here is basically what I like to call cocoon the machine. We cocoon it. You get this thing cocooned solid, it's probably got a pretty good chance of making it. Okay, there we go. Well, let's just do a little more. Probably not necessary, but yeah, I can never have too much in this stuff. Okay, so it's cocooned. It's in this cocoon. It's going to be fine. It's upside down. It's sideways. It's sideways. It's every which way. I guarantee that is still a perfectly operating Selectric 1 that's going to work right out of the back. Okay. That is, now that goes in a box. Let's take a look at the box. Hang with me again, I'm going to move the camera. Alright, got a couple boxes right over there. The top one is what we're going to use. This bottom one I've been using for Selectric 2 15-inch models, but this is a 13-inch model. It should fit in this other box just fine. So let's get the camera down here a little bit. Like that, maybe. Okay. Box perforation is pretty basic, but we're going to show it anyhow. You got a big enough box. And it's strong enough. Let's prepare the inside even. Tape these bottom flaps. We don't want this box that's big and it's going to be heavy. Don't want to twist it. This is going to help eliminate the twists. Tape the inside. And first thing we're going to do is put a layer of, well, I'm going to move this other box out of the way here. And we'll just use this box. So, I'm going to put some popcorn in the bottom here. And it's really the only step we got to do is get some popcorn in here. Nice bed of popcorn to start. A couple inches there at least. And we're just going to stick our machine in here. Nice. So, it's got a bed of popcorn. It's got a couple inches all around still, and on the top. We're just going to fill this the rest of the way with popcorn. And we're about done. Alright. We need some more popcorn. I'm a little shy right now, but I got some more around here. Key factor, I'm gonna have to get me a little more popcorn here, but I gotta do in this step is wiggle the sides, make sure that popcorn gets down in there, and shove it down in here, wiggle this a little bit, and bring that level up to where there's pressure when you close this. And the last thing you want to do when you get this box ready is tape everything. Tape all the way down the side here. All the way down the side. Of course, across the top. Flip it over. Do the bottom. Same thing with the bottom edge. Same thing with the bottom edge. Again, you don't want this box flexing at all. And that should do it. That will get you Selectric shipped across the country in working condition, hopefully. That's my, let me see if this is everything on my list here. My list says prep box, wrap bubble, keyboard, wrap cord internal. Showed you how the frame moves inside the case. Now there's no movement, that's a key factor. And the vibration shock mounts. You know, there's 4 of them. We want that machine secure. And when this box is all packed up and ready, you should be able to lift it and, you know, really no movement at all. There isn't any movement in there. Alright, that's it. I hope this works for you. And I hope your IBM gets shipped safely. Good day.